Welcome to the Big Shift Podcast. I'm your host, Tommy Shumway. We have Dave Shumway on here as well. We are the 100-year crew. What does that mean? What is the 100-year
W-
crew? Why is it the 100-year team that we have here?
Well, it's super coincidental that it's happening this year as we're breaking out with podcasts and videos. But this is the year I turned 70, and this is the year you turn 30. And so what we're doing with that 100 years, it's a little bit different than, say, a guy that's 100 years old and wants to pass down all of his wisdom about, whatever it is, a particular topic or something. Because with us, it's kind of a nice blend. The 100 years is a nice blend because it's not 50-50, so we're not equivalent in that, but it's 70, which is 40 years longer of experience and that wisdom, right, that exists. And just, recognizing some of the market activity, some of the market trends, and, knowing what's happened historically. But not being as savvy on what's new today. And that's where you come in, right? That's where you come in, where you say, hey, we need to do this. Like the first time you came to me and went, hey, we gotta get really involved in this AI stuff. And you gotta see what it can do. And I would have never signed up for one of the AI accounts, and I did. And now we've done a lot of advancements with that. But that definitely is where your area on what's happening. And mine is more on, hey, the experiences of companies and recognizing what's happening and some of the visible trends that occur. And yeah, so it's a nice blend. It's better. The 100 years, it's a better mix than almost anything out there you could possibly get. And yeah, so yeah, I'm going to turn it back over to you on the AI stuff, which I'm super excited about. I do some of it, but not near as much as what you come up with on AI. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I think one thing that AI has allowed us having a startup program, I would call it, not necessarily a startup company, but what we're doing is entering a new industry. And so a startup program, having those lean resources, AI allows you to do so much more. For me, I feel like I'm a five-person team when it's just me, right? And then it's allowed people to do so much more and not needing to go out and hire different people for different parts and then really just to learn what you're doing because it gives you access to say, hey, how do I do this? How can I just become a problem solver and get it done myself and not have to go to someone else that studied in college or has a certificate for a certain program. Really allows you to continue learning, and that's kind of what I've felt like as I started to use AI more and more, is that it's this continuous learning and this unlimited intelligence really that we have. And it allows us to think different, have ideas and then execute on them in different ways. And my question to you is, why don't we just go down the traditional path?
Well, I mean,
Real estate, employee benefits.
I'm always a guy that wants to try new things. I think that's a little bit of what has been a part of, some of the successes that I've had is that I don't let any of that stuff stop me. And I'm, I'm hesitant at first in some areas, and then I'm fascinated. And so for us right now, being able to utilize some of what AI has to offer versus the traditional route, what it does is it moves us light years ahead of a lot of other people, light years ahead in pushing out messages, light years ahead in what we put up in marketing arrangements, light years ahead of just the thinking process, because we can use AI as a thought process for it. It's thought provoking. Now, what we find is on the AI side is we can talk to AI about strategies, and then it can be, a feedback on that. And that's the best way that we use it as its brain power, and sometimes in its it's creativity, but a lot of that stuff, you're right. The basics come from our own mind of what do we want to do? And we go to AI and we say, hey, we have this fantastic idea about this. Now, what do you think? How would you take that and craft any sort of messages out there? And then we may take that just as stimulating idea. We got 5 different ideas that we can utilize in sending out messages to people out there. And then the other side of it is we look at what the AI gives us as thought processes, and then it's a beautiful little manuscript for us to say, well, let's talk about all these ideas and let's see how they can play a role in what we're doing. And so it's an enhancement. And soon, for some areas, they talk about replacement of certain areas. But when it comes to building and constructing this whole business, that this really, truly, what we have here can have a big impact on America, have a big impact on companies, a big impact on employees. It's win, win, win all over the place. And, to be a part of that, it takes, our brain power, AI's brain power, and everybody's. And we will play a significant role in, the whole housing crisis, the whole shift from all of this massive recruiting that takes place. Companies are replacing 20, 25, and sometimes in some industries, 35% of their workforce every year. And they've made this just a part of their business. And so we've developed, by our own brain power, not part of AI, we made discoveries on the impact of recruiting and the impact of retention and the impact on home ownership has on companies, on employees. And I mean, this is very insightful stuff. I mean, this is stuff that nobody knows this stuff. The math that we have on all this, the statistical data that shows what homeownership can do to a company, having the employees be homeowners, because what you're seeing right now out there is really kind of a nosedive in homeownership. We know all the data on that. We'll go over that in due time, but you see the nosedive, and then you wonder why recruiting is continuing to rise. Well, the two really play a key role with one another. And, and it's like nobody knows. Like we got this hidden secret. Nobody knows this secret but us. And we're out there talking about it. And people are going, are they crazy? Or is that really, is that really a big breakthrough? We're like, yeah, we swear. We know. We've looked at tons of companies. We know exactly what's happening. We're now in the process of crafting programs for different companies, and we'll be monitoring all of the results. We want everybody in on it. We want everybody because it's that big of a deal. And if there's a miss on it somewhere, what's the miss?
Well, I mean, do we want everyone in on it? It's like in the beginning, it's, hey, take advantage of what you have on being someone that's offering a home ownership program that other people don't have. That's where we're at right now.
Hey,
I mean, 10 years down the road, it's going to end up like health insurance where everyone is offering these programs and everyone's offering these benefits. But right now, we're at a time period where there's few people doing it. And so the advantage of it is pretty big on that end, on the
yeah.
retention.
Yeah, on that, what I was talking about is we want every company in on it. And we would like
Yeah.
to be the leadership introing all the companies into it that we could offer the services to. Yeah, on the competition side, the beauty of it that is too, we've really crafted a program here too that is really challenging to put together. We've been putting it together for a decade. So what people think is, well, I'm going to put that together in a month. And you're not. The first and foremost is to get people to believe it's going to work the way you put it together, right? The way we put the program together, it's like no other company out there. The way our
No,
services
I was
work,
saying the companies as well too. The companies that are offering home ownership as an employee benefit, say they're giving $10,000 to their employees to buy a home.
Yeah.
Right now, there's very few people doing that, and the opportunity is huge
Yeah.
towards retention and employee loyalty and, all of that offering such an amazing benefit to your employees. If we look 10 years down the road, it could be something just as normal as matching on a 401k.
Oh, in fact, we're at this 10,000 now, and you and I have talked about this the other day where it's like, okay, well, maybe you don't do it in the first year. Maybe it's a 2-year program where you say, okay, we'll match this amount of money that you put in. Maybe that's the way it goes down the road, or that's one of the options that exists within companies. The other is this lump sum payment, which it sounds like a lot right out of the gate. Whoa, whoa, 10,000. Cause, that's probably the normal, we say 15 to 5 to 15, but really where people end up is 10. And then they're giving them 10, which first time home buyers, that's what they need. They need 10. And so it works out beautifully because here's the thing. If you're going to have a program and you want to enhance the program, you got to go with the right numbers. And that, we come in on that and say, here's the right numbers to use on that. And so the program will have different developments as we go through this whole process of announcing it to all these, because you know what, almost nobody knows about the program right now. I mean, we
Yeah.
know we got some big companies in on it, right? And we got some smaller companies in on it. We got some decent mid-sized companies. So if you look at, I mean, just going back to the 10,000 number, it's like, if you look at that number and you think $10,000 to keep that employee here. Oh, how about the other program too, though? $10,000, that's it. So you don't have corporate disruption. You don't have, this entire replacement sort of culture that exists in the company. Now you have more of a core group that continues to work together and they build more and more rather than, oh, here's another replacement. Come on in, another replacement. It's like a assembly line of employees out there now. If you're talking about 20, 25% leaving, that's, hey, you might as well put them on assembly line. Hey, who's leaving today? But
Yeah.
yeah, so it's a small number. And then for some companies, they'll want to dish it out slowly and want somebody to max that number. But really, the significance of all of this is the renter group right now doesn't have down payment money, but a lot of them do have the monthly resource. That's the number they're spending right now on that. So if you supercharge them with that money and then they're in that house, and then, I mean, my gosh, every day the reminder, they walk into their home, they go, you know what? You know what, honey? We would have never had that if it wasn't for our employer. Isn't this is incredible that they've offered us this, and this is now our life. And then it gets even better, right? You go 5 years down the road, and they go, you know what? We got 100K in equity now, or some number, whatever the number's going to be. And then, or maybe that's 10 years. We got 100K in equity now, and that's more than I got in my 401K. Whoa! I don't want to play 401K bashing or anything because 401K has been a great program. Now, I don't know if we want to introduce this right now, but you came up with a whole program that you want to introduce to the government, your American Workforce Program. What about that? What do you say about that?
Yeah, I think that's one of the best solutions for first-time home buyers because what you really do is take out the government grant programs that are going away that it's so hard to even qualify for a lot of those programs. A lot of
Yeah,
low income, lot of you got to meet these qualifications. You have to live there for a certain amount. It's so complicated to do. The reason I
yeah,
know that is because I've been in real estate for 10 years and dealt with people that wanted to get those programs and tried to do it. And you got to take a class and all this stuff, right? And it's not really it's not penetrating the market. People aren't really using those programs and they're going away. And what you have is a problem in the market of affordability. People can't save enough money for a down payment. And you have a problem in the market of employee retention where people are leaving jobs, especially renters. We look at the data, they're leaving 3 times faster than people that are homeowners. So you have those two problems out there, and the solution really is just blending them together. Where if you can have the company give money for the down payment and you give them a tax incentive, just like the loan repayment, that money goes towards home ownership for them, and then it solves the affordability for the employee. And so you have two problems that you're really creating one solution. All you need is a little bit of a policy that it's already there. It's already written there. You just have to add home ownership to the line. You added student loan repayment because that was a big problem in society. And then you have another one. You add the tax incentive to give money to your employees for the down payment. I don't see any other better solution in the market for the first time home buyer and
Yeah.
for employee retention. We don't have all those companies that are struggling with that. It's almost like they're passing their employees to all their competition. It just goes down around in a circle. When in
Yeah.
reality, what if you could just stabilize all of them and offer a great benefit towards home ownership and say, hey, we want you to stay long term. We're going to invest in you, because people leave companies when they don't see the path forward. And I'm not just talking about in their position where they're making their way to manager. It's just in their life. If they don't see that path towards home ownership, towards retirement, they're going to say, I got to make a change. This is one of my biggest goals. Almost everyone in the world wants to become a homeowner. They want to buy something, they want to own it because it's their own. I mean, a great investment, but also it's you just want something that's yours, somewhere where you have a piece of America, really. And if we can have the companies come in and help with that, then it's something that is going to change how companies really care for their people. Because right now they have benefits, right? Most of them are insurance, kind of in that protection mode. There's not a lot of companies that are in that advancement mode. Hey, how can we help you reach your goals? How can we help you retire? We have the 401k. Great. It's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough at retirement. Even the matching, and you do that for a while, still not going to be enough. You need that next level of home ownership to where you see that path in 30 years. Now I have a house that's paid off. I can retire. I don't have a housing payment. I'm paying maybe a small portion in or in property taxes. And if you live in the right state, I mean, Florida might be getting rid of those for the primary residence. And that's just so people can enjoy their retirement and not have a housing payment that's going up, or property taxes that are rising astronomically because the value of homes are going up. And that really, we're going down that road. That really is only going to work for states that are like Florida that can supplement it for right now. But moving forward, yeah, home ownership is going to be the best avenue for retirement for the everyday person, because it's hard to stay disciplined with your cash. It's really easy to sell an investment right on your phone. You can make a trade right on your phone, and then you have access to all your retirement money. You can't really do that with home ownership. You can't just make a decision to and you can sell your house. It's gonna take a little bit longer, and it's not gonna be such an emotional decision. And that's why home ownership works out so well for the everyday American, is because it's just long-term building equity over time, right? Paying down your loan balance, and then it's appreciating, and you look out 30 years. I mean, for me, I've looked out 6 years, and I'm like, wow, this is what I already have. That's incredible. So that
Yeah. I mean,
that that's where we're at.
I agree. I mean, on the home ownership side, so it just depends upon the kind of person you are. So I have gotten excited about some stocks and sold them early. Sold them early. In fact, today my brother always reminds me of how much that would have been worth if I held on to it. But I didn't sell any of my real estate early. I didn't get excited and say, "Oh my gosh, what's happening here?" And that is a little bit of a difference. Is there is a little bit of friction for selling homes versus stocks. You could sell stock in 2 seconds, and then spend the next 2 years or 10 years or 20 years wondering if you made the right decision. But yeah, so the numbers that we see, of course, everybody talks about the high housing crisis and the first time home buyer and all that. But the numbers we see within inside the corporations tell us there's something bigger going on with the numbers of renters that are in corporations now and the number of people leaving companies every year. We know those numbers and we can share with companies what you can do about that. I mean, there's some things that you can do, and we've been on the front line of discovering, hey, here's what we can do for you. We can recognize where you sit today on your numbers, and we can help you build a better company. We can help you build a better company by showing you what to do with each employee, by showing you the impact on home ownership in these companies. And it's really kind of crazy, isn't it? I mean, it's like, well, let's see, before in the real beginning, it was like, okay, do you have health insurance? Oh my gosh. Yeah. And, so that was a big focus for a long time. And then it was like, now you have some voluntary benefits too. Ooh, all of that's like old. Now the big battle is, you got to get to self-insured because health insurance is going to suck you dry. So, and now what we're saying is, hey, look, pay attention to the new kid on the block. We got some really valuable stuff for your company. It's going to save you money. It's going to improve your culture. It's going to improve the outlook of the employees with your company. It's like, whoa, we gotta tell everybody, shout from the mountaintops on this. And so that's what we need to do with regularity is just let the companies know that we do have, because it's funny, being a CEO for a number of years, I get pitched on a lot of stuff and a lot of stuff I don't respond to. And it's like, we can see the same thing in the CEOs out there. We're like, oh my God, if we could just shake them and say, I'm telling you, this is real. We got some real stuff that you need to see. You'll be amazed by this. And I know you get a lot of pitches, but listen to this one. Look at it, see it. I mean, it really, it can transform your company more, a little bit more, or maybe a lot of bit more, and you'll see and you'll be that next level of leadership. Hey, even if you're running a profitable company right now, but the next level of then participating in the growth of people outside of the company and what they'll feel, the feelings that they have for you as a person, for you as a leader, and for themselves for being a part of this whole big thing. So, yeah, it's big things coming. Big, big. We just got to get the word out.
Yeah.